Going hungry herself is one thing, but now the baby's suffering too. Thinking about Ruyan's situation, old Huang said nothing more. He just grabbed a bag of baby cereal off the shelf and handed it to me. Cereal in hand, I thanked him gratefully. Then, without wasting a second, I rushed back home. But the moment I stepped into the yard, I heard the baby crying inside. I hurried inside and said hoarsely, "Hey, babe." I got the baby cereal. When she heard me, Ruyan looked up. She saw that I'd actually come back with baby cereal. Instantly, she went on guard, clutching the baby tighter. Her pale face filled with fear. "I'm warning you. Don't you dare sell my daughter, or I'll take us both down with you." Her voice was shaking with desperate hysteria. I stood there frozen. It was coming back to me now. In my past life, I tried to sell our daughter to some couple in town, a pair in their 40s who couldn't have kids, just so I could get drinking money. The thought made my heart bleed. What the hell had I been doing? I deserved to die. I bent down and placed the baby cereal on the shabby little bed. Choking up, I said to Ruyan I was a monster before. I wasn't even human. "Please believe me, I will never sell our daughter. Tomorrow I'm going to town to find work." Ruyan's eyes flickered with confusion, but mostly disgust. After all, I'd made promises like this more times than she could count. Ignoring her reaction, I stood up and walked out to the yard. If I remembered right, it was at the end of this month in my past life that she'd jumped into the reservoir with our daughter in her arms. She'd even strapped rocks to her body. No chance of survival. Just thinking about it made me shudder. But it wasn't too late. There was still time to fix this. If I could make money fast and start treating Ruyan and our daughter right, she'd find hope in me again. She wouldn't try to end it all. But that was down the road. Right now, the cupboards were bare. I needed to get some real food first. Something to nourish Ruyan and the baby. I glanced at the hills south of the village, and my eyes lit up. I headed that way. If I remembered right, those hills were full of wild pheasants. In my past life, I'd been too lazy. I'd rather starve than go up there and hunt. This time, I wasn't going to waste the chance. Pheasant broth is amazing for women and babies. Great for recovery, plus I could sell the rest at the market. Once I reached the hills, I pulled the elastic band off a pair of shorts, grabbed a forked branch, and made a slingshot. In my past life, after I made it big, I'd gotten really into target shooting. I'd even messed around with slingshots for a while. So being young again and using a slingshot to hunt birds, my aim was off at first, but I found my groove pretty quick. After crouching in the grass for half the day, I finally had a haul. A few turtle doves and one big pheasant. I happily tied them all together, ready to carry them home. But the next second, I realized something behind me had vanished. I broke out in a cold sweat. What just happened? That's when I noticed the charm on my chest, my wife's lucky charm, flash with a golden light. It was something Ruyan had always kept close. She only took it off before she killed herself, leaving it by the reservoir. When I looked closer, the charm had disappeared again. I reached out and touched it, and suddenly, I was inside some kind of space. After messing with it a few more times, I figured it out. As long as I held the charm, I could enter and leave at will. I was thrilled. So this was what they call an inventory space. With this thing, getting rich just got a whole lot easier. Ruyan, just wait. This time around, I'll give you a life of luxury you'll never run out of. On my way home, I noticed most families in the village had electricity, but our place was still lit by a tallow lamp. What kind of life had I put Ruyan through? The more I thought about it, the worse I felt. I carried everything straight into the kitchen. Before it got completely dark, I quickly cleaned the turtle doves and started making soup. Before long, I brought a big bowl of dove soup